Hi, movie story recapped here. Today, I'm going to explain a 2016 American horror thriller film called Don't Breathe. Spoilers ahead. Watch out, and take care. This is the story of three young thieves and they are also close friends, Rocky, Alex and Money. They rob houses but apparently they don't steal money. They steal electronics, clothes and things of value but for less than $10,000 because supposedly they are minor thefts. One day they break into the home of wealthy owners after unlocking the door. After Alex disables the security system, they begin to grab the nicest looking items they can get their hands on. Alex looks the most nervous of all. Repeats their rules about not taking any cash and grabbing only things that are below $10,000. When they're done, they throw a rock through the plate glass door which activates the alarm sound as they run. Later, they are driving in their car smoking and chatting. Alex, who looks like a good guy, starts talking about the other two friends who are planning to leave town. They don't seem happy, saying everyone leaves this city Detroit. Even they were leaving for California after the next robbery with no plans of coming back. The girl wants Alex, the nervous guy, to come with them but he says he can't leave his dad. They drop him off at his house. Alex lives with his father. He goes in and heads straight to his dad's study room where he opens the drawer and returns the key from the house they just robbed. His dad works at home security, an active policeman, who is never home and is apparently pulling double shifts at the local police station. Alex uses his father's computer connections to look for wealthy people to rob. The guy called Money goes to fence the things they got in the robbery and doesn't get as much as he wanted. He argues a little with the guy that buys the things from him but the guy tells him that if he wants money, he should steal money. He gives a tip about a new job. Money tells his friends all about it. It's a house that belongs to a loner veteran secured by nervous guy's dad and is in a part of the city that is abandoned. That doesn't raise much confidence in the other two, so Money explains why they should rob it. Apparently the vet's daughter was ran over by a rich girl and her family gave him a huge settlement of at least $30,000. The girl goes along with the idea much easier than the nervous guy Alex. He is worried about the consequences of grabbing such a large amount, to both them and his dad's company. He walks away. Later that day, the girl, Rocky, sends Alex a text message begging him to do the job for her so she could get someone out. While Alex researches the vet, Rocky is home with her little sister Diddy and their abusive mother Ginger and her boyfriend Trevor. They are very alcoholic and abusive. It becomes apparent that the message Rocky sent Alex was clearly about her sister. When she starts asking her if she wants to go to California with her, she wants to get her sister out of the terrible family situation. So Rocky promises to Diddy that she will get both of them out of there so they can start a new life in California. Alex, Rocky and Money go to stake out the vet's house in the neighborhood. Alex and Rocky remain alone in the car. She shares a story from her childhood with him and Alex tells her that he will come with them to California when they finish the job. Money comes back in the car and confirms that they knew about the house, when a Rottweiler dog jumps at the girl's window. An old man calls for the dog and Money tells them that he is the vet. They realize that he is blind and have a small argument about how unethical it would be to rob a blind guy. That night, they come back to the neighborhood. The three initiate the robbery. The lights are off at the vet's house. The friends head toward the man's house. They take care of the dog first by feeding it meat with some kind of drug to knock it out, allowing them a safe entry into the house. When they go to open the front door, they realize that the keys had taken from his dad's security don't work. They check for a side window or door, but find only a small window which only Rocky can go through. So, Rocky goes in first through a small bathroom window. She manages to stop the alarm with a remote that Alex gives her. Inside, she sees framed pictures of Vet's dead daughter on the mantle. While her friends wait for her, Money taunts Alex for his crush on Rocky. She returns and opens the back door. Once inside the house, Money goes upstairs and finds the blind man sleeping with the TV on with a video his daughter playing when she was a child. Money manages to set off the gas. He comes down and the three of them find a bolted door thinking that money must be stashed. The blind man rises and hears a noise. He just turns the TV off and goes back to sleep. Money gasses the room to ensure that the man won't hear anything. The three find a locked door that leads to the basement. They think this is where they'll find the man's stash. Money starts to break down the door, leading the blind man to go downstairs. Money starts talking and says he doesn't want trouble, until he decides to pull a gun out on the man. Alex, frightened about how having a gun there can change things, they leave. He takes his shoes from the stack and goes. Money and Rocky open the door but the blind man takes a few steps forward as Money holds the gun in his face. The blind man asks who is there. The two of them fall silent. But he hears Money and starts following his voice as he tries to first lie and then reason with the old man. He shoots at him once to scare him but that doesn't stop the old man as he slowly gets closer. The man grabs the gun from Money's hand and pins him against the wall. Alex hears the shout outside. The blind man asks Money how many of them there are in the house. Money says it's just him and he pleads for the man to let him go. The blind man loosens his grip, but then shoots Money in the neck and through the head. He drops Money's body to the floor, and Rocky hides in the closet. Alex goes to find Rocky after the blind man starts locking up all the doors and windows. Alex almost bumps into the vet, nevertheless dodging him as he runs around the house bolting the doors and the windows. He hides in the bathroom and texts Rocky. She tells him where she is hiding and he goes after her. Before Alex gets there though, the vet comes into the closet. The man enters and opens a safe containing his money, takes a part of the drywall to reveal the safe, and enters his code, which is fully visible to Rocky. They decide that they just have to sneak in through the basement and out the cellar door that leads outside. First, Rocky opens the safe and puts all the money in her bag. They head toward the basement, but the man emerges from there. The two keep quiet as he holds Money's gun. Someone's phone goes off, and he fires a quick shot. Rocky and Alex then head downstairs as the man drags Money's body outside. In the basement, Rocky is startled by a woman who's been chained up to the wall. Rocky and Alex are freaked out and almost leave her until the woman holds up a newspaper article. It reveals that her name is Cindy, and that she's the woman who accidentally killed the blind man's daughter, but she was acquitted. Rocky and Alex free her and carry her toward the cellar door. Unfortunately, the blind man is there when they open it. He fires the gun and strikes Cindy in the face, killing her. Rocky and Alex hide, and the man finds out he shot Cindy. He cries over her body and yells in rage. Alex picks up the man's keys and decides to try and make it back to the front door. As he and Rocky head back upstairs, the blind man turns off the lights in the basement, leaving them all in total darkness. Rocky and Alex feel around for each other as the man shoots the gun. Rocky almost touches the blind man until Alex calls her name. The blind man catches Alex and tries to shoot, but his gun is empty. Alex pushes a shelf down on him, trapping him. He and Rocky run upstairs. Alex holds the door closed with a crowbar. He and Rocky try to open the door, only to find the dog has woken up and is ready to attack them. They run from the dog and trap it in a room. Unfortunately, the blind man has gotten out of the basement and he attacks Alex. He punches him multiple times in the face and appears to impale him with garden shears. He then finds Rocky and knocks her out too. Rocky wakes up in the basement, chained in the same spot as Cindy. She tells the blind man that this won't bring his daughter back. He says that's not entirely true. He impregnated Cindy to give him a child to make up for the one she killed, and he would have let her go once she gave birth. With Cindy dead, his unborn child has died as well, and he holds Rocky accountable. He cuts open a hole in Rocky's pants and grabs a baster filled with his semen sample. He prepares to impregnate Rocky, but luckily, Alex has gotten up and grabbed a hammer. He whacks the blind man over the head and frees Rocky. They handcuff the man to a pole. She starts kicking the man and then stuffs the baster down his throat. They leave him alone and decide not to involve the cops since the man could easily tell the cops that Rocky and Alex broke in. The two head back upstairs to leave. They manage to open the front door, but the blind man has gotten up and he shoots Alex dead. Rocky makes a run for it, just as the man lets the dog out. Rocky runs back to Money's car and tries to make it in before the dog gets her, but she dropped her bag outside the car. Rocky opens the trunk to try and trap the dog in there so she can get out. Her plan works, and she goes outside to get the money, but the blind man comes out and knocks Rocky out again. The blind man drags Rocky back to his house to finish his job. A ladybug flies onto Rocky's hand, giving her a boost of confidence and hope. Rocky grabs the control to set off the security system, causing the alarm to distract the man. She grabs the crowbar and whacks the blind man over the head multiple times until he falls into the basement and has his gun go off, shooting him in the side. Rocky takes the money and leaves the house before the police show up. Rocky is now with Diddy at the Detroit airport, ready to start their new lives. Rocky then sees a news report on TV, stating that the blind man was found alive and that only 2 burglars were reported as breaking into his home, and that he killed both of them. Rocky becomes nervous and then takes Diddy with her, never to look back again. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.